Hello. For those learners who love to write things down, be sure to screenshot this crochet pattern. We're going to walk through it step by step. Some nice fingerless gloves for the winter. I absolutely love it. We're going to be using the front post double crochet to create this beautiful textured look. And with Lion Brand's Woolies Thick and Quick, it obviously works up very quickly, and a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook makes it kind of like really bulky, nice and warm. I love it. All right, we're going to get into it. To start today's fingerless glove crochet pattern, we are going to work 25 foundation single crochet, and we're going to be working this pattern from the top down. So we're going to start with a slip knot, wrapping the yarn around our finger twice. And then we're going to pull the first bar over the second bar back over the first, and off of our finger. We're going to grab our crochet hook, and we're going to chain 2 to start. Chain 1, yarn over, and chain 2. Now we're going to go back into our first loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now we're going to yarn over, pull up 1 loop. That's going to be our chain, yarn over, pull through 2, which is our single crochet. So the foundation single crochet works both of them at the same time. So now we're going to go back into the stitch that we first made, yarn over, pull up 1 loop, and now these are going to be the loops we work in. Yarn over, pull up your chain, yarn over, pull through both loops for your single crochet. Now place your hook back through the stitch we just made, and you're going to do the same thing. Yarn over, pull up 2 loops, and these are going to be what we work into. Yarn over, pull through 1 to make your chain, yarn over, pull through 2 for your single crochet. We're going to continue until you have 25 total, or the amount that you would want for to wrap around the top of your hand there. Also, I wanted to mention that I'm not a professional crochet designer by any means. I'm a nurse who loves to crochet, and I love to design, fun things. This was a request and really fun to experiment with. All right, we're going to yarn over. We've got 2 loops, yarn over, pull up 1, and then, and this is the fun thing about crochet, is you can always just frog it, unpull, and go back to the start. 1 loop and yarn over, pull through 2 to get your single crochet. So now here we are. We've got 25 foundation single crochet, and you can count them out. How many V's that you have there is how many stitches that you have. That's how I like to count them. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then all the way to 25. Make sure you have the amount you want. And now we're going to slip stitch back into the top of our initial stitch there to make a round. This is how we're going to be working at the end of every round. We'll work a slip stitch into the top of the chain before, and this actually won't count as a stitch. So the next part, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet in every stitch, which will give us 25 stitches, or 25 double crochet. So we're going to chain 2 now, chain 1, yarn over, chain 2. And remember, this does not count as a stitch, but I like to put the stitch marker here so that you know kind of where your counting begins and ends. So now we're going to start working our way down. All right, for our double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, we'll yarn over again, pull through the loop. We have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you'll yarn over and pull through the next 2. And I'm using US terminology, so we're going to continue those double crochet all the way around. So we'll insert our hook, yarn over, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And now what I like to do is squish the round together. I find it helps to keep it tight and makes more of that like flat clothing piece that accessory that we like. But it's basically kind of how you like your fit, how you like to crochet. I just find I like the feel of having it held firm together, because I find it gives it more of a circle effect. And two, pull through two. Excellent. So we're going to continue to double crochet our way through. Insert your hook through the stitch, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over through the last two. And I'll let you continue, and we'll meet back at the start when we're going to slip stitch into the top of our chain two. Okay, so excellent, great job. We've worked our round. We're going to work our last double crochet here, and we're going to insert our hook. Now this is the tricky part. So you'd be tempted, and I have been before, to work into the bottom of our chain, but we don't want to do that. We want to go to the top of the chain two that we worked, and slip stitch into the top there, yarn over and pull all the way through for our slip stitch. And then we're going to start the next round. Great job. All right. For our next round, we're going to chain one, and we're going to single crochet 23, chain 8 for our thumb, and then do 2 single crochet for a total of 33 stitches. So that's our chain one. Excellent. We're going to move our stitch marker. Where do you like to put your stitch marker? Do you put it at the beginning or end? I notice I like to put it at the end of my round. I was putting it up at the beginning the first time I went to film this, but I noticed it threw me off. I like to put it at the end. It kind of tells me to stop counting. All right, so we're going to single crochet 23. So we insert our hook, pull up 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Excellent. And that's our single crochet. That's 1, 2, and you're going to keep going 23 till we get to our thumb. 3, excellent. Insert your hook, 2 loops, pull through 2. And this pattern works by alternating rounds of double crochet, where we're working the double crochet and front post double crochet, as well as our single crochet rounds. And so usually on the single crochet rounds, that's where we're going to either work kind of an increase or a decrease for our stitches, which will help with our shape. And then we build the length with our double crochet rounds. Great job. I notice I really love using the Carousel or the kind of multicolor yarn this time around, because it creates or does the color work for you. Every time I'm doing color work, I always get intimidated by weaving in the end pieces, where when I was using this, I found it was just so pretty, worked up so nicely. And when I was looking for the name on the Lion Brand website, I noticed they have a bubble gum. Oh, I want to try that one. It's very pretty. All right, we're almost at 23. So now we're going to work our chain 8 for the thumb. And in order to do this, sorry, my cat Gary's here and I was giving him little kisses. We're going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I move my hand up so I can keep the same tension the entire way around. And now without twisting your work, okay, we're going to do 2 more single crochet to the end there. Excellent. And so that it's still facing us. 1, and we're going to single crochet again. Excellent. 2. So now we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 1 from the previous round. Okay. I find doing the slip stitches tight, but it's worth it because we're trying our best not to create any holes. You know, it's a piece of winter clothing. We want it to be as warm as possible. All right, so now we're going to chain 2 and work our front post double crochet pairs times 10. And then we're going to do half double crochet into the back one of them, and then work 8 of them into the back bumps over the thumb, and then we'll continue there. Ooh, all right. So now we've done our chain 2. So the way that the texture is built up on this fingerless glove is by working front post double crochets into the top part of the double crochet on the row below. So you've done your single crochet row, but now you want to go to the top part of your double crochet. So I always go above the bar, right? You're looking for the bar on your double crochet above that. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook behind the bar, and we're going to yarn over so the yarn wraps around the front, which is what's the front post double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2 to finish your double crochet. Yarn over, pull through the last 2, and that kind of brings that double crochet out forward, right? It looks beautiful. Now we're going to yarn over and we're going to work a double crochet into the stitch or the single crochet that we had just created, but we're always going to be skipping one. So we skip our first stitch and we yarn over and insert into that second stitch and work your double crochet. Okay, and then we're always going to be skipping one for the front post double crochet as well in order to bring every other one forward. So you insert your hook behind there to wrap the yarn over into the front. Excellent. Yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're going to yarn over and work a double crochet into the every other stitch from where we have our double crochet previously. So you skip one and then yarn over into that second one. Excellent, into the stitch there. So you're always kind of skipping a front post double crochet and a double crochet, or like a stitch in the back. So we're going to yarn over, skip one, insert behind, yarn over, pull up 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through the last 2. Excellent. We did our front post, and now we're going to do our double crochet pairs. And so I kind of exactly like to think of it like it's pairs. 1 front post double crochet, 1 double crochet. Excellent. And we're skipping one each time, one of the double crochets, so with our front post, and then one of the stitches on the singles. I hope that makes sense, but this is kind of how we're building up the pattern. So we're going to continue to work through it together. So even if it doesn't, you can always pause, rewind, go back. That's why we got the pattern at the beginning, right? You don't have to worry about writing it down. You just take your screenshot. And then you can write it down if you want on your own time, but you have the pattern. And then this is going to be about kind of getting how it works up together. All right, so we're going to work our double crochet there. Excellent. Yarn over. Now we're going to do our front post double crochet. And after every front post double crochet, excellent, you're going to work a double crochet. Great job. So you're going to work your double crochet pair. Now we go front post double crochet. And then you're going to work into the top as we get close to our finger. So we've got, or to the thumb there, sorry. We worked to the front post double crochet. Now we're going to work a double crochet where we would skip one. And now we're going to do a half double crochet right before the thumb. I find that this helps with to prevent any gaping there. So we insert our loop on the hook, 3, and then we pull through all 3. And that's our half double crochet. Now we're going to continue to half double crochet into the back bumps of our chain 8 that we did there. So we're going to work 8 of them now. And you work into the back bumps there of the chain. It can be tight. So I did take this off screen because it takes a little bit of time. I find sometimes I'll actually just insert my hook into the back bumps there so that I can get them a little open, and then I can work the half double crochet. So I will let you continue to do that, and I will meet you 8 of them later after you've worked them on your thumb there. All right, great job. So now we're going to work one more half double crochet into this little stitch where your chain would have come down. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 3, And then we're going to work a double, oh, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, double crochet. There we go. Work a double crochet to finish. Great job. So now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the previous round, or from the beginning. Slip stitch, yarn over, pull through. Great job. Excellent. For our next part, we're going to chain 1, do 21 single crochet, and start our decreases. Then we'll do 4 single crochet, decrease, and 4 more to get 31 stitches. So we've done our chain 1. So as I mentioned, each round in this fingerless glove is going to alternate from a double crochet round to a single crochet round. So this is our single crochet round, and this is where you can work your decreases. And this is kind of where you're going to play with your shape, right? This glove is a choose your own adventure. Do you want it to be a short glove? Do you want it to be longer? It's totally up to you. So you're going to get to decide kind of what fit that you would like here. So now that we've built up for the thumb, we're going to work our way for the palm. So if you don't want any decrease and you're like, actually, this feels amazing, then you're going to continue. You would do just 30, you would do your single crochet around, and then you would work the front post double crochet all the way down. But right now we're going to work a little decrease. We're going to do 21 single crochet. Good job. And then we're going to work our decrease. Wonderful. Oh, I love to crochet in the winter. It's so fun. And I love that crochet is completely adjustable to what you make it. That's the best thing about making kind of like handmade items, is they're completely customizable. All right. We're getting close to our first decrease now. So to work our decrease, we're going to place our hook into the front 2 bars of 2 stitches, right? And then we're going to yarn over. Just as we would for a single crochet, we're going to complete it, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. And that makes 2 stitches 1 stitch. So we decrease the number of stitches. So now we're going to work 4 single crochet. 1, 2, oh, hold on, 3, 4. And now we're going to work another decrease. So just into the front loops there. Yarn over, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to do 4 to finish. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great job. And now we're going to work a slip stitch into the top of the chain 1 from the beginning of the round. And this is always a great time. Be sure to count your stitches in between each round. I know it can be tricky, but I find myself, anytime I don't go to count my stitches, I always regret it, especially at night. If I'm crocheting, kind of trying and watching TV at the same time, then I always it's important to count my stitches. I always regret if I'm not doing that, if I'm like getting caught up in whatever I'm watching. All right, so we're going to slip stitch in to that chain 1 from the beginning, and then we're going to work a chain 1 here to start our double crochet. And if you've been paying attention, you might be like, wait, shouldn't we be doing a chain 2? No, I noticed when I was doing my trial run that the chain 1 actually helps to prevent creating holes. So we're going to yarn over and work your double crochet and front post double crochet pairs until we reach the thumb, and then we're going to do 7 double crochet across the thumb, a front post double crochet. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to actually work a double crochet into that first stitch there. So not the bottom of where you put your chain, but into the first stitch. pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Great job. Now we're going to work our front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, and you actually don't, and you want to go into the post that's back. You know how we're trying to bring every other one forward? So that one's forward. So we don't want that one. We want to yarn over. We're going to place our double crochet into the skip stitch. So at the top of the front post from the one previous, and then we're going to yarn over and do a front post double crochet on the double crochet, the row below that's backwards, if that makes sense. So that each row you're bringing it like you're alternating it forward, because if you're just continuing to work the front post double crochet onto the same ones, then it would just be bars, long bars, which is beautiful in its own right? That's its own beautiful texture. But this kind of creates a front post double crochet pattern where it's alternating each round or each 2 rounds which one comes forward. So that's your double crochet, and now you go to work your front post double crochet into the top of the one below that was back. You're going to work your double crochet into the top, always skipping one in between your double crochets, and then you work your front post double crochet on the one below that's backward. I hope that helps to make sense. That's why I wanted to like write it out, talk it out, visually show it, because it's really, really pretty. And I find, after working it a few times, it works up very quickly. It's just kind of explaining to always make sure you're skipping one stitch in between your double crochet and then one in between your front post double crochet, and that's how kind of the numbers will work out. And it's interesting because this is a stitch pattern that needs odd numbers in order to work, and I find working with odd numbers can be always really tricky, because in crochet we love 6, 12, 18, like working up really nice in our multiples of 6s there, and this one just doesn't. It works in odd numbers, but that's okay too. All right, we're working our front post double crochet. If you have any questions, please let me know below. Great job. All right, and now we're going to work a front post double crochet, and we're almost at the thumb. Work a double crochet. Great job. And now we're going to continue to work 7 double crochet across the thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let me just go back and frog that. Hold on. 4, 5, 6, 2, and I think I missed one when I was kind of at the start. Let's double check here, because it starts with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. All right. So now here's your opportunity. So we've done our 7. Now we're going to do our front post double crochet into the one below. Good job. And then we're going to work a double crochet into the last stitch. Excellent. All right. And we're going to work a slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the round at the beginning of the round. Oh, sorry, it's not chain 2, it's a chain 1. It's a chain 1 now, I'm remembering, because that's what's preventing the gaping there. See, keeping me oh, sorry, I didn't mean to, if that snapping got to you. All right, but great job. You finished part 1. We have built up the thumb. Now we are going to do a decrease round where we're going to start building the palm and the wrist. So we're going to do a single crochet, and now we're going to work a decrease right away. And decrease. And now we're going to work 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to do a decrease. So insert your hook into the front loop here. Here. Good job. Through 2, decrease, 2 single crochet. 1, 2. And now we're going to work a decrease. Excellent. Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Another decrease. Good job. And now 2 single crochet before a decrease. 1, 2. Oh, struggling there too. There we go. All right. Now we're going to work our decrease. Good job. I'm so proud of you if you're making it through. This will be worth it to have some nice gloves to wear in the winter. And now, oh, good job. We work 2 more, and we're going to end with a decrease. Excellent. And that should bring us to 25 stitches. Okay, so I'll let you count. We're going to work a slip stitch into the top of our chain 1 from the previous round. And then we're going to count our stitches here. Excellent. So for our next round, we're going to chain 2 and work our front post double crochet pairs, incorporating the thumb, and we're going to end with a front post double crochet to get 25. So here's our chain 2. Now we can make sure we put our stitch marker back so we don't lose our place. All right. So we're going to yarn over and start with our front post double crochet that's back. All right. We always want to skip, so we're going to work into the double crochet below that's back there, and now we're going to work a double crochet into the top of the front post from below, yarn over, front post double crochet into the double crochet that's below, and now into the top, always skipping 1 stitch in between our double crochet. Excellent. So we're going to continue to work our double crochet pairs, and I'll be honest, now when it's at 25, it's a little tight, so you're going to always kind of be just following the front post double crochet alternates with your double crochets below, and then sometimes you're working your double crochet, it will look like it's not into the top of that front post, but it's as long as it's skipping 1 in between your double crochets, then it will keep you on the correct count. All right, now your front post double crochet. I like to keep it kind of squished together as I do the corner there. That kind of keeps it flat and keeps it from spreading out, or I find it gets a bit of a triangle shape if I pull on it as I crochet. So holding it together helps me keep everything more upright. And so here you'll see sometimes the double crochets and front post double crochets are on top of each other, and that's because in order to keep the alternating pattern, it's better to just line they end up lining up sometimes. But that works well as long as you're doing one stitch in between your double crochet and one stitch in between your front post double crochet. And I found doing this that each double crochet round will either start with a double crochet or a front post double crochet, and then those will also flip. So if you're not sure kind of which one to start with, think about what you started with the one previously. All right, so now we're going to incorporate the thumbs. So we had worked a double crochet, so now we just yarn over and do a front post double crochet on the thumb, skip a stitch, work a double crochet into the top, brought one forward, so we're going to leave one. Now bring the next one forward. Excellent. Double crochet. And now we're going to skip a stitch and work a double crochet into the top. And that'll give me. Now we're going to work a front post double crochet. Great job. All right. And we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the one previously. I know it's tempting to do a double crochet there, but the math does not work. So we are going to end with a front post double crochet. I know they're supposed to be pairs. Please don't come at me. As I mentioned, I am learning. I just enjoy crochet. I'm an amateur crochet designer, but I have a lot of fun with it. All right, so we're going to chain 1 and get ready, or well, we've done a slip stitch. Just so you're not surprised, it is a chain 1 for the next round. I don't want to give it away too early, but we are going to be working some single crochets. And now here, be sure to count our stitches to make sure that we have 25, because I found, especially on this round where you're skipping, so many ones, it's really good to make sure you've got the correct number of stitches. Thumbs up. All right, we're ready to rock. We are doing a decrease round. So we're going to do our chain 1, which you just saw, 7 single crochet, decrease, 11 single crochet, work a decrease, and then 2 single crochet for 23. This is an optional decrease round, I must mention, because it really just depends on how tiny your hands are. For me, I found I didn't need to do this decrease round, or else it gets really wide at the thumb. So these are the decreases that worked for me. However, you don't have to. You can just continue with the 25 stitches if that works, working your double crochet and single crochet rounds. All right, so we've done 7. So now we're going to work our decrease. And now we're going to do 11 single crochet into the top. I find the single crochet rounds, they help because they were a great spot to put our increase and decrease rounds. If you're a designer, kind of, if you want to make your own fingerless gloves, that's what I would do, is I would just put them on the single crochet round. I found that was much easier than trying to do increases and decreases with the double crochet, with the front post double crochet. I found this was a really nice place also to keep the form of the glove instead of just running double crochet rounds in between. I think it would get kind of floppy, whereas the double crochet or the single crochet rounds in between helps to hold the form. All right, so we've now done our decrease after the 11, and we're going to finish with 2 stitches there. I didn't like it. It was not tight enough. So I'm going to go back, yarn over, pull through, and really tighten it. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets to finish. And 2. And that is our last decrease round for the glove. That makes the palm, and then we're going to get to our wrist part. Excellent. We're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 1 from the beginning. You are doing great. Amazing, amazing work. I'm so excited. I got to figure out, social media of some sort, so then I can see, or, I'm just happy that you're crocheting and enjoying crochet. Okay, for our next part, we're going to chain 2 and then work our double crochet front post double crochet pairs and all the way around till we have 23 stitches. So we have done our chain 2. We're going to yarn over and work a double crochet into that stitch there, first stitch. And now we're going to work a front post double crochet. Now we're going to work a double crochet, skipping 1 in the back, as I mentioned. And now we're going to work our front post double crochet. Excellent. And now we're going to work a double crochet into the top of the front post double crochet previous, skipping 1 over, and then we'll yarn over, work a front post double crochet in our alternate. And so this is the whole rest of the pattern. So this is kind of going to be this is a choose your own adventure pattern. You can work this all the way long. Let's say you wanted it to go all the way up. Well, I don't know if 23 stitches go up to your shoulder, but you could get some really long evening gloves length if you wanted. And then all you're going to do is you do your front post double crochet pairs, alternating, and then it's going to be 23 single crochet until you want to do the cuff. And it's just these rounds. This is round 7, which is the front post double crochet alternate. Round 8 is 23 stitches, and then it's just you're going to continue doing that as long as you want your fingerless glove. So you've got it. You've basically got it. And honestly, let's say, you want to just end it with your single crochet round. You just do a single crochet round and you're like, this glove is done. Perfect. You don't need a cuff. Cuff is like, that's the fun part about crochet. It's really just artwork. It's decoration. If you want it, you can try it. But if you like, just for like functional and utility wise, honestly, you just make this at a double crochet. But if you want this pattern because it looks real cute, then you can work the cuff when you're ready. However, I just want to just put that out there. Like if you're just like, oh, I'm working this and now I'm kind of over it, do your single crochet round and be done. I would fasten, like weave your tail in. And then the cuff is really if you want to just get cute with it. All right, you see how they're starting to like twist on themselves because we went from 33, 31, 25, 23. That's okay. You're just going to continue just working your double crochet, skipping 1, and then work your front post double crochet on the one behind. Even if it's kind of like hiding behind the front post double crochet of the one before, that's okay. You're going to bring it out. It will all kind of twist itself out with your single crochet round. That's what it's there for. It's really nice. Excellent. Work our front post double crochet on that little double crochet that's hiding. Now we're going to work our double crochet into the top, but make sure you skip a stitch. That's the really important thing. I almost didn't skip a stitch. I had to go back, make sure I skip a stitch. So we're ending with a double crochet here, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 from our previous round. Or not, and at the previous round, but at the beginning of the round. Excellent. All right, so now we're going to work 23 single crochet, and you'll get 23. And as I mentioned, this is kind of now going to be your choose your own adventure spot. You're going to continue with these 2 rounds until you're at your desired length. And round 8 of part 2. So make sure we can count our crochet stitches here to make sure we have 23 before we start our next round. Let me know if you like seeing the counting of the stitches or not. I always get nervous. I'm like, who's going to want to see counting stitches? But I'll be honest, learning how to count my stitches and learning what stitches that the designer was counting in YouTube videos was a huge thing. I was actually literally always like slowing it down, pausing, being like, wait, is that a stitch? Are they counting the chain as a stitch, or the chain does not count? How do you know? Because it's a lot of it is math and numbers. I find that like it might be helpful to see the count, but if it's not helpful, then that will cut down, that will save a lot of time. So let me know. Not a lot of time, but some time. I'm counting them anyway for myself. But if you don't want to see counting stitches, you're like, girl, come on, it's like paint drying, then like I can skip that very easily. Okay. So now we are going to slip stitch into the top of the chain one from the beginning. And we're going to try on our glove. I found it's a little tight, but it works super well once I get it in. Very nice. And it does expand the more I try it on. So this is your choose your own adventure part where you get to either continue working your front post double crochet rounds, or we're going to be starting the cuff in the next little section. So you can join us for that. And the cuff starts, so after you've done your 23 single crochet, we're going to get going. So the one on the right is the short one, that's this pattern, and then the one on the left is a little bit longer of a wrist warmer. It is totally up to you. You get to decide what you want. Both work super well. It's really nice. I enjoy it. All right, so you get to continue with round 7 and 8 until you get to your desired length. Hooray! Now let's get started with the fingerless gloves part 3, the cuff, which is incredible. If you are at this part, congratulations to you. Finishing the crochet project is something I really want to empower you to do. So we're going to chain 2 and we're going to be working half double crochet all the way around to get 23. But so we're going to yarn over, insert our hook in, yarn over again, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're going to continue that all the way around, working half double crochet all the way around our fingerless glove to work the beginning of the cuff there. So as I was mentioning, finishing crochet patterns is something I really want to help you do, because that's something I have a hard time with. I have started so many amigurumi projects, or like little swatches, or swatches are different because you just want to see how the pattern turns out. But really it's like I have so many unfinished projects that I really want to finish. And I was thinking, like, what's the biggest thing I could actually help and inspire other, crocheters to do? And I'm like, oh, that's honestly to finish and gift our projects. I feel like we have such good intentions of wanting to make, and I worry using the term good intentions, but just positive desire to gift homemade gifts to our family and loved ones. And then the holidays come, and I don't know about you, but like I do not get to give all the crochet items that were in my head that I would have loved to gift to others over the holidays. So how about you? Is that something that you struggle with? Or are you like, no, I always finish my projects and then I don't start another one until I'm done my first one? I would actually love to know. And then like how do you do that? That would also be something to discuss. If you want to discuss that, let's do that. All right. So we've worked our way around the entire cuff. Now we're going to work a slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the round. This can be a little bit tight, but that's okay. It means it's also going to be secure, which is really lovely. And we're going to work a chain 1. And now you might be saying, and we're going to do more half double crochet. And although we just did a chain 2 before a half double crochet, we are doing a chain 1 here, okay? And we're going to half double crochet into the 3rd loop all the way around for 23 stitches. The reason is a chain 1 is because it creates a ridiculous gap if you use a chain 2. Okay, I tried it. I literally did a chain 2, filmed the entire thing, and then I was like, ugh, I hate it. There's this huge hole here. Absolutely not. So we're going to work into the 3rd loop. So when you do a half double crochet, the amazing thing about it, I'm going to show you nice up and close kind of where this 3rd loop is that you'll have the initial V that's on the top, And then if you look to the inside, there is this like magic third bar that you see here. And that's what we're going to work into. I already did one, so make sure you do that one too. But this is the V, right? So those are the front and back loops we always talk about. And then this is the magic third loop. It's so cool because when you work into it, it actually pushes that V forward and gives you kind of like a braided texture on your fabric, which is really pretty. And it's kind of like working cables without having to do too much. So you're going to insert your hook into that third loop, yarn over, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over again, pull through all 3. And we're going to continue to do that the entire way around. All right, so I'll let you do that and I'll meet you at the front. And this is kind of, see how it pushes it forward here? And this is what's going to create that beautiful pattern for our cuff. Excellent. All right, last round. Good job. You've done it. We're almost there. I'm so proud of you. We're going to chain 1 and work 23 single crochet into the third loop of the half double crochets we previously did. And then we're going to fasten, slip stitch and fasten off our yarn tails. Okay, weave them in. So we're just going to work a single crochet into that third loop. Great job. And that's going to push the V from the half double crochet that we worked just now forward again. So we got 2 beautiful braids. You're going to continue those single crochets. And I find the single crochet is what gives it a nice form for the wrist. And that's kind of keep the wind and the snow from blowing in, which is really lovely. And now you've done it. We've gone all the way around. We've worked all of our third loops. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 1 from the beginning of the round. And I find when I slip stitch, I pull it all the way through and then I'm going to cut my yarn tail. All right. So we're going to get ready here. So we're going to go slip stitch into the top of that chain 1. Yarn over and pull all the way through. Oh, do I do it? Chain 1, huh? Chain 1 then. Yarn over, chain 1 and pull through and cut. I apologize. I thought it was just a slip stitch. However, you can really fasten off how you want. Grab your scissors. Make sure you leave yourself a nice long yarn tail. For weaving it in. I do weave in my yarn tail off screen because I find I really like to take my time and fill and make sure, there's no bumps. With this one specifically, because it's a top down pattern, we're going to be kind of weaving the yarn tail in a way that we're hiding that knot from the beginning. And so I found it was easier to like go off camera and take my time with it. So what I did is I ended up working across and then down to hide the yarn tails. Here they are, these beautiful fingerless gloves. Thank you, girl, for giving me the challenge. It was really tricky when you first said fingerless gloves, I did not know what to do. I went through many different demos, but this turned out beautiful. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed them and love them, and they are nice for you in the winter. I hope you're having a beautiful winter season, and I can't wait for the next pattern. All right, girl, take care. Bye.